Everything that you want in life is on the other side of sacrifice. In order to become that version of yourself that you want to be, you have to give something up. You have to give up those relationships and those people that you're talking to that you personally know are not healthy for your growth as an individual. The way that you're living your life, the things that you're doing, the practices that you're having are not good for you. What do, familia? It's your boy Taxi PNG, and we're back at it again with yet another one. I'm gonna tell y'all, everything that you want in life is on the other side of sacrifice. Whatever that thing is that you want in life, it's on the other side of sacrifice. So let's get into it. I do have a little bit of notes on the side because I get lost and you guys say I talk a lot. So I'm trying not to go off on a tangent. So I'm gonna reference to my notes, come back, reference to my notes, come back. So if I'm looking over to the left, because I got my notes right here and I don't want you guys to do too much, okay? I'm referencing my notes, going back, referencing my notes, going back, all right? All right, so today I'm gonna break down why sacrifice is the price that you have to pay in order for you to level up. Everything has to come at the expense of something. You have to give up something in order to get something, whether you're giving up your time in order to, gain that success or to save money. Sometimes you give up your time to save money or you give up your money to save time. So there's something that you have to sacrifice. In that same equation, something is the sacrifice. Whether the money is the sacrifice or your time is the sacrifice. There's something that you have to sacrifice and give up and give over and fork over in order for you to gain and acquire the thing that you want in life. Nothing is gonna come from nothing. You have to do something to get something out of life, right? So, for example, you waking up early is a sacrifice. If you want to wake up early, be the best version of yourself, go to the gym, have a great schedule, have things set in line, you have to sacrifice. What do you have to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice your sleep. You have to sacrifice waking up. You have to sacrifice going to sleep the night before and not death scrolling on your phone in order for you to get to that next level. In order to become that version of yourself that you want to be, you have to give something up. Something has to give, right? Something has to be given, something has to be taken away. You can't have it all. You can't not sacrifice anything and get everything that you want in life because it wouldn't be fair and there would be no balance in the universe. A positive needs a negative and a negative needs a positive. So if you don't have any balance, you won't gain anything from it. If there's two positive, they're gonna cancel each other out. If there's two negative, they're gonna cancel each other out. A positive has to have a negative. That's how it stays balanced, right? So the pain of sacrifice and the pain of regret, you have to weigh those two on a scale. Which one are you willing to live with? Are you willing to live with the pain of sacrificing your time, sacrificing your money in order to gain the thing that you want in life? Or are you willing to sacrifice not doing it to gain the thing that you want in life and holding that regret for the rest of your life? I don't think holding that regret is more worth it than actually taking the step and trying the thing, because whether you succeed or you fail, you tried. The more shots that you put up at the hoop give you more chances in order to succeed in life. And if you don't continue to put those shots up at the hoop, you will never know if you were able to make it or if you were gonna even have a chance to be able to make it in life. So it's like, without sacrifice, you get nothing. And you can't get nothing from nothing. Like how people say, nothing changes if nothing changes, and you can only get change if something changes. So if you want to be the better version of yourself, you have to give up something. You have to give up smoking. You have to give up drinking. You have to give up all of those bad habits that you know are bad and you're running from. You have to give up all of the things that you're holding on to that you know are not good for you. You have to give up those relationships and those people that you're talking to that you personally know are not healthy for your growth as an individual. The way that you're living your life, the things that you're doing, the practices that you're having are not good for you. And you know that, but you're constantly allowing it to control you and to hoist a cherry over your head and to put on those blinders, and because it feels good or because it's not painful or because I don't actually have to sacrifice anything and I can just allow things to just happen and I'm just living life. How long are you gonna just allow things to happen and live life before it's either irreversible or too late? Because all you have is the now. Tomorrow's not promised. And if you're constantly living your life in a way that isn't, I don't want to say righteous, but isn't right within you as an individual, you won't grow. You won't get anywhere. You won't gain anything. So you have to really sit down and have that conversation with yourself and see, where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? And what are the things you have to give up to get to that level? Do you have to stop hanging out with certain people? Do you have to stop doing certain practices, whether that's smoking, whether that's drinking, whether that's indulging in sexual activities? Is there certain things that you have to stop doing? Because all these are addictions. Maybe even if it's social media, you're indulging in social media too much, you're too invested into other people's lives, and you're not willing to sacrifice social media to be able to grow in other areas of your life. You're not willing to sacrifice sex in order to grow in other areas of your life. You're not willing to sacrifice the weed in order to grow in other areas of your life. You're not willing to sacrifice the alcohol to grow in other areas of your life. You're not willing to sacrifice the relationships to grow in the other areas of your life. And if you're not willing to sacrifice these things, you will get nothing out of it, and nothing will change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you're not changing, you can't expect something to change. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to me. Every single time, I'm always talking to you guys when I'm going through stuff. And I always try to make a lesson out of what I'm going through, because I try to work through it. I try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I try to understand where I am, and every single time I go through something, I get a lot better because I become more and more self-aware. In order for you to be self-aware, you need to be able to stop and pause and understand, what are you going through? What are you doing? What's really happening? You know what I'm saying? Rather than just, what would I feel? No, okay, what's really happening right now? I feel this way and I shouldn't. Or I'm doing these things and I shouldn't. Like, there may be some things that you're feeling inside deeply down that you don't notice because it's your subconscious speaking, or it's your subconscious actions that subconsciously are doing whatever the hell they're doing. Like, with me as an example, I live alone, so my mind goes crazy because I don't have anything to distract me from my mind. I don't play the video games no more. I'm gonna try to start back. I don't do a lot of things other than just work, and obviously that can drive you the fuck crazy. So it's like, when you don't have those outlets, or you don't have constant reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, or any form of gratification or attention or something that makes you feel high, that gives you that high of life, you start to try to get that high from other things. And that's what I once did at a time. Like, you would chase this vision or this feeling that you want in any form that you can get it, right? So, for example, you want that high of success, but being that you can't get that high of success right now, you'll get that high of something else. Maybe it's indulging into too much social media, and you're constantly death scrolling. You look up and it's like 5 hours went past. I'm a victim of it. I do it. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get better with it. So I literally have gotten this app that locks down all of my apps from 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm starting off there, right? Yeah, right? 9 hours is locking down, right? So when I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, from 5 to 9, I can't touch Instagram, right? I might schedule a little story or a post or something, but I can't touch it. I can't touch any of those social media apps other than YouTube, right? That's it, because I can watch YouTube, watch a podcast, boom, 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 right? I can't touch any other apps. And I started it today, and it's feeling pretty good. I'm going to see how long I can keep going, but you have to sacrifice something. And I've been finding myself becoming addicted to social media, addicted to the numbers, addicted to the growth, addicted to the potential. And it wasn't until I got to a point where I had videos blow up, go super viral, and I looked at what I got from it, and it wasn't worth the amount of time, sweat, blood, tears that I put into it, and the amount of sacrifice that I did make. You know what I'm saying? That made me understand I have to take a step back. I can still put in as much effort that I am, on the output, but I have to take a step back as an individual and understand where I'm coming from. What am I thinking? What's really going on? All right. These things are happening because I'm not going to sleep at the right time. And why am I not going to sleep at the right time? Because I'm death scrolling on fucking Instagram or TikTok. And I tell myself I'm looking at ideas, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm doing recon. No, but you getting dopamine hits, bro. And when you get too many dopamine hits too fast or too frequently, it becomes very easy for you to get off track. It becomes very easy for you to lose yourself, bro. And you have to, at that point, when you find that you've lost yourself, or you're finding that you're starting to lose yourself, you have to understand that you need to sacrifice something now. Something you understand, you've seen, you've noticed, you've viewed that you're losing yourself. Now something needs to be sacrificed. And it all comes down to time. Every time that you want something in life, it comes down to sacrificing time. Sacrifice. Everything is sacrifice, but it all comes back down to sacrificing time. Either you're going to sacrifice time for what you want, or what you want will become that sacrifice. So either you're going to sacrifice that extra 2-3 hours just spending at nighttime scrolling, or you're going to wake up extra 2-3 hours earlier and get on your grind, because earlier in the morning you're more adept. You don't want an adept scroll. At nighttime is when you're like, oh, my day's over, boom, boom, I need like some dopamine hits. And that is a drug. You don't even think about it like that, but it's a drug, bruh. And it's become an addiction, and it's a problem. So I'm trying to fix it, I'm trying to correct it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I want to be this version of myself that I hold so high, I can't be constantly on social media, or constantly always investing into these things on social media that just don't serve me as an individual, and they're not doing anything but give me dopamine hits. It's like I'm not at the pinnacle. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but I don't know if I'm at the pinnacle of where I want to be at for me to even have the luxury to be able to have that as a reward, to be allowed to even, have dopamine hits. If I was already successful in where I wanted to be at, then okay, I'm more deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? I can have a little bit a day, but that much time over and over again, bro, I haven't even gotten to my goals, and I'm giving more of my time up to these apps than to my actual goals. I'm not outputting, you know what I'm saying, more than I'm inputting, just taking in information, whether that is overlearning. You can overlearn, bro. It's not bad to always be a student, but if you're taking 9-10 hours out of the day just learning stuff, taking in information and not using that information, bro, it's not gonna freaking help you. You're not gonna get anywhere in life if you're just constantly taking in the information and not outputting anything. You're not giving any output. You only get out what you put in. You know what I'm saying? So you have to put in, bro, in order to get something back in return. And it's the same way opposite. You have to sacrifice something, you know what I'm saying, in order to get something. You have to give something up in order to get something. All right? And that's just how the universe works. It's just a law of attraction. It's that law of balance. It's karma, good karma, bad karma, whatever you want to call it, luck, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. Most people won't do what it takes because it's uncomfortable for them. You have to have a mindset shift. So like you either adapt and grow, or you stay stuck. So you're either gonna adapt to the situation that you're in, to the new way of life, to the new way that you're wanting to be. Because with me, for example, it's 100% or zero. I switch to a new way of life and I'm going 100. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not doing something and it's 0%. So it's like you either adapt or you get stuck. The way I like to say it is, it sounds crazy, but adapt or die. Like you either adapt to that new system or it won't work. You adapt or else, you know what I'm saying? Or else that's it. And if I don't make it that dire for myself, I don't change. Nothing changes if nothing changes once again. So you adapt or die, bro. So how I talk about like the everyday sacrifice, the everyday sacrifice that I want to make is going to sleep, right? By 12, before 12 or whatever, and waking up at 5 a.m. Waking up early, before the rooster croaks. I want to go to sleep even earlier than that for real, but you have to have an everyday sacrifice, and that will all add up, right? So it doesn't always have to be big. It don't always have to be dramatic. Sometimes it can be small and just daily choices. So things that you do daily, like little small sacrifices that you make daily that will all add up for the future. You know what I'm saying? So they could be very small sacrifices that just all add up to the overall goal that you're trying to achieve. So maybe let's say, for example, it's living a healthier life, and you start off small by, waking up an hour earlier. You know what I'm saying? Waking up 10 minutes earlier, or going to sleep an hour earlier, rather than saying, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep 4 hours earlier today. Like that's so much harder to do because you were already standing up to 4 a.m. So going to sleep 4 whole hours is 12, but your body's used to 4. It's gonna be such a drastic change that it's hard for you to do. But for me, that works. For me, if I say, bro, I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m. every night, and I've been usually going to sleep at 4, F it. That's me. That's my body. Like I'm so determined to do that thing and make that thing work because I feel and believe with all my heart that that's what's gonna help me get better. It's what I do, right? But for you or for anybody else, if you're not built like that, you may be wired differently. So your mindset's just gonna take a little bit, a different approach, right? So it may be, 1 hour earlier, 2 hours earlier, maybe even 30 minutes. Like even with going to the gym, right? You do a small sacrifice. Let's say, for example, you start by going 15 minutes a day. Yes, it sounds crazy, LOL. Why would I go 15 minutes? Because it gets you used to the regimen, bro. You go there, first 5 minutes, maybe you're not doing nothing, then 10 minutes, you're walking on the treadmill and you leave. And you go back and you do something different and you leave. And it's 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. And now you're like, oh, I'm gonna stay for 30 today. Oh, I'm gonna stay for an hour today. And it gets easier as it goes. I know people who have social anxiety where it's hard to be able to do things like that, but you have to start small. If you start too big, you're gonna overwhelm yourself, you're gonna crash out, you're gonna break, you're gonna cry. All right? You can't, bro, because it happens to me. Like sometimes you overwhelm yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? They catch you off guard. You know what I'm saying? And you have to start small. So maybe you have to do 15 minutes first, 30 minutes first, or whatever it is to be able to get you slowly into that. You know what I'm saying? It's a little sacrifice. You're sacrificing 15 minutes, sacrificing 10 minutes. Same thing applies to your content creation. All right. Maybe you don't like filming out in public or you're scared. Try 10 minutes of it. Try 5 minutes of it. Don't make it too long or exaggerated, and give yourself grace with all of these sacrifices as well. It doesn't have to be a crazy drastic sacrifice. You can start very small with these sacrifices. It doesn't have to be like get your life together right now, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It could just be like get your life together right now. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. But take your time and give yourself grace. All right. Because I got a problem with that. I don't be taking my time. Yeah, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, some examples of subtle sacrifices, right, in daily choices are waking up earlier to work on your craft, right? Waking up earlier when there's no distractions, nobody bothering you. Waking up earlier than you usually wake up to have an hour or two to just hone in on your craft, the thing that you like, whether it's learning for an hour, listening to a podcast, something that help you be better as an individual in your industry, right? Cutting out the distractions and negative influences. Like I said already, cut out the distractions, bro. Whether that's Instagram, whether it's a girl, whether it's a guy, whether it's whatever it is. Not saying your boyfriend or girlfriend, LOL. Not saying your wife or your husband, hey. But cutting out the distractions, whether that is liquor, hey, you might be a drinker. I ain't no drinker, might be a drinker, right? Whether it's, watching TV too much or just involving yourself into other people's problems too much and not involving yourself enough into yours. These are distractions. And the negative influences also. You may have a friend that's always in your ear saying, hey, bro, let's go do this. Hey, bro, let's go do this. You have to detach yourself. Maybe it's going to be really hard to detach yourself fully from that person. Maybe you do it little by little. It might help you. You know what I'm saying? That might be a little bit better. Right? Investing time and money into growth instead of quick gratification. So instead of putting all your money into them twigs, you know what I'm saying? Put a little bit into the stock market. I don't know. But instead of getting instant gratification, start focusing on growth rather than just that quick gratification of just, I can get it real quick. Like that's even starts off with like, bro, working for your body rather than buying your body. You know what I'm saying? Invest that money into something that's gonna last longer. Whether it's, taking care of your body, eating healthy or eating better, invest that money into the long run because you're gonna be able to keep it and sustain it, or invest your money into your channel, your page, your Instagram, whatever, your business into the long run. So that way you can sustain it and can keep it and can be worthy of it rather than trying to, for example, buy followers. You know what I'm saying? Rather than buying followers, take the time to actually invest. Whether that's your money, that's your time, you have to invest it. It's a sacrifice. Invest that time to build up that page because when you do something quickly, you don't appreciate it for one, and then for two, it doesn't work. So especially with buying followers, it messes up your whole page. It will mess up your whole Instagram page for trying to get it fast and get that quick gratification. Oh I'm that guy. I got 1 million followers. I got 100K followers. I got 3,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna turn around. It's gonna mess you up. Same thing like for buying. Maybe you buy your body. Maybe you do something to your body, or you buy some like steroids or whatever to boost yourself up, and you're not able to sustain the body that the steroids gave you. So now it starts to go backwards and start to act badly on your body, and now you're like, damn, I should have just invested that time into it rather than now dealing with this from quick gratification. And a lot of times, a lot of negative things come out of quick gratification. By you getting quick gratification, that's a sacrifice also. Now the thing that you want becomes a sacrifice because now you just wasted time. You know what I'm saying? Not going to sleep, right? And you couldn't went to sleep, that's long term, right? You're healthier, you wake up more refreshed, you feel a lot better, right? Rather than the quick gratification of, oh, I'm gonna just stay up and I'm gonna just scroll, and I'm gonna be on my phone and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? And you're like on that phone and you're just like, and then now when you wake up in the morning, you're feeling groggy, you're feeling bad. Now you have a whole bad day because of those 2 hours that your ass should have been asleep, right? And it's crazy, like you have to just start small with them, bro. So are you willing to pay the price, right? There's two prices, obviously. It's the price of regret or the price of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Choose your hard. Both of them shits hurt. You know what I'm saying? But which hurt is gonna give you more out of it? The price of regret, you ain't getting none out of it because it's regret, bro. It's done. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, you're kind of done. You know what I'm saying? But the price of sacrifice could give you a lot. You can sacrifice a lot of different things, and it all lead to a positive outcome, unless you're sacrificing the wrong stuff. Well, unless you're sacrificing good for bad. But if you sacrifice for the good, regular good of yourself, you'll make it, right? So, are you willing to give up the things that are holding you back, right? What's the one thing that you know that you need to sacrifice in order for you to get to the next level? Leave it down in the comments. What are you dealing with right now that you know for a fact you as an individual need to sacrifice in order to get to that next level and that next stage of life? What is it? What is that thing? What does that look like for you? What is that you need to focus on in order to be better, right? What is it? For me, it's social media right now. I put a lock on my sheet, but I know I work it. It's like, oh, that's your job. Yes, I know, but it's like, it's hard to find that balance between the two. So what is it that you need to sacrifice? Who is it that you need to sacrifice? Is it your friends? Is it your circle? Do you feel like your circle doesn't really serve you? Do you feel like you're that black sheep in a, you know what I'm saying, in the herd? Or do you feel like you're that person that's like, every time I walk into this room, my mentality not adding up to theirs. Like I'm thinking like this, and like, how can I elevate? And they thinking about going out and drinking and doing this with boys and girls and doing this in these groups and drinking and smoking and doing all that. And I ain't even on that type of timing. So like, is that you? What are the things that you have to sacrifice to get the outcome or the version of yourself that you want and that you would be happy to show the world? Right? And yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this down below. Make sure to comment, make sure to share, and I love you guys. Let me know what you learned today down below. I want to know how I'm helping you guys. If you made it this far to the video, you're a legend. Get lit. Make sure to comment down below and let me know if you guys like this type of videos. I'm gonna be trying to drop a lot more for the P&G unfiltered, real, raw, unfiltered advice. But yeah, I love you guys. Until next time, taxi.